Yo, Evil Crossover back with another reaction video. Now we're taking a look at was Ken O'Keefe right about this? Now we're going to see what's his thoughts about Donald Trump and see if he was right all along on what's happening in the world today. So if you like what you're seeing, definitely go ahead, hit them like buttons, hit the follow, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments, was this guy goated for knowing what was going to happen? Let's find out right now.
Donald Trump is owned by the very same interests that own the U.S. Congress, and the policies are to continue to destroy the Middle East. Right. I do believe that they're going to head into Syria and go ahead and bring in U.S. troops, and a lot of those U.S. troops who saw what happened with Syria in the last couple of weeks came out and made some amazing YouTube videos and said, what the hell are you doing, Donald Trump? So for me, and aside from that, the United States never fights anybody who can fight back. We're cowards. We don't...
Yeah, you know what? That's true, bro. We just pick on the little guys, domination, and call it a day. But when those big dogs come out, the U.S. doesn't want to mess with them.
Pick on people who can fight back. If Iraq taught the world anything, it is, and Libya for that matter, giving up its nuclear program, the world has been taught, if you want to avoid the empire's wrath, make sure you arm yourself to the teeth, because disarming yourself is not going to serve any protection at all. Let's also get in, here's where North Korea and Syria and the Middle East, all of it ties in. There is a very big misunderstanding amongst the people of the world who don't have psychopathic, sociopathic qualities. See, for those of us who have any level of humanity, we don't want war. But there's a big problem.
We definitely don't want war. But guess what? We get in them.
Problem. Those who are in charge actually have a major incentive to have war. It seemed that people in World War II realized, especially with Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that we could not do this a third time. But apparently we've been cast under another spell and seem to forget that we do have the capacity to destroy this planet. Now, those of us who have any kind of sanity and humanity realize the dangers of this, but those who are running the world through the control of finance have a major incentive to incite war, because more important than the money that they control is the most important parameter of a tyrannical system, a tiny minority ruling over the masses. And that principle is you will never be able to rule people if you cannot divide them. So you must divide them. What divides people more than anything else? War, mass murder, horrendous crimes, torture, things like that.
That'll definitely divide a country. Once you get war going, it'll divide people.
Are good in the view of a banker. There's 100,000 victims in Iran from the chemical weapons that Saddam Hussein used with the aid of the CIA. This is a matter of public record. Let us remember how he was our favorite little attack dog in the Middle East, and that we had to attack Iran for having the audacity of getting rid of our puppet, the Shah. And the Iranians, all too ironically, while being told, the whole West being told that these are the evil people who want to exterminate the Jews and all this kind of nonsense, the Iranians had an amazing debate within their nation back in the 80s when they were being attacked by weapons of mass destruction from Saddam Hussein and chemical weapons. And there was a debate about whether they should even attack Basra and Baghdad with weapons of mass destruction. And you know what their answer was? No, we can't, because we're a God-fearing nation and it would be immoral and God would not approve. So this is yet another example, 100,000 victims of chemical weapons in Iran. So yeah, America's moral authority hasn't existed for decades. And I have been shocked that even back in 2003 that people were talking about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Excuse me, the United States is the biggest producer, distributor, and user of weapons of mass destruction.
We got the big guns, the money to do it. So I don't know what they're talking about, man. We're something else.
And it's going to be the moral authority to talk about who can and can't have them? It was absurd then. It's even more absurd now.
You see, what Ken said there is something many of us have known deep down for a long time. We believed Donald Trump was different. We thought he wasn't owned, that he was a man who would stand up to the system and speak for the people. But as time went on, it became clear that even he isn't free from the same hands that have controlled American politics for decades. He talked tough, but when it came down to it, he fell in line like the rest of them. And for many who believed in him, that's a real disappointment. Ken also spoke about how America chooses its fights.
Yeah, it's the same stuff. He didn't make any changes. He's going along with everything.
And to be honest, he's right. We have a habit of picking fights with countries we know can't fight back. We call it defending freedom. We dress it up in nice language, but when you strip it down, it's cowardice. Real strength isn't shown by crushing the weak, but But that's exactly what's been done time and time again.
We just crushed
And then there's the hypocrisy. We point fingers at other countries, telling them to disarm, while we are the biggest manufacturers and users of weapons of mass destruction. How can we talk about peace while we keep stockpiling tools of war? It doesn't make sense. We can't claim the moral high ground when we don't live by the same rules we expect from others. Look at the Middle East. We've gone in, over and over, toppling governments, destabilizing entire regions, leaving behind nothing but broken nations and broken lives. And we say it's about security and democracy. But really, it's always been about power, control, and money. War has always been the easiest way to keep people divided. And when people are divided, they're easier to control. That's not some wild theory. It's just how power works. What Ken said is uncomfortable for some, but it's the truth. And for those of us who've lived long enough to watch these patterns repeat, it's not even surprising anymore. This isn't about left or right, Trump or Obama. It's about a system that never changes, no matter who's in charge.
He's right. The system never changes, just keeps going. It's a cycle. Any person that comes in here, they're bound to these, not restrictions, but who knows, right? They got to abide by the rules of the nation, the rules of the USA.
And maybe the most important thing here is this. The truth doesn't always come wrapped in fancy words. Sometimes it's plain, it's direct, and it stings, but it's real. And Ken spoke the truth.
He definitely did. Definitely did. He spoke the truth then, and everything's coming to fruition now. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure we hit them likes on the video. We'll do some more reaction videos coming up soon. Hit them likes, hit them follows, leave the comments, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.